It starts on a road less traveled, winding through a forgotten forest of towering ancient trees. Here, our tale begins with a curious traveler, a skeptic drawn by whispers of the unknown. His name is shrouded in mystery, much like the path he walks, but for now, we shall call him Walker. Walker, a man of reason, had always been intrigued by the legends that lurked in the corners of civilization. The Shadowed Grove was one such legend, whispered to be a place where the veil between the living and the dead was thin, where apparitions danced in the moonlight, and the wind carried the laments of souls long lost. The path he treads upon is an eerie one. It weaves through the trees like a serpent, its scales blanketed by fallen leaves that crunch ominously underfoot. Above him, the ancient trees stretch their gnarled limbs towards the gray sky in a spectral ballet, their leaves rustling with whispers of forgotten tales. The air is heavy, thick with the sense of foreboding that coils around Walker like a spectral shroud seeping into his bones and chilling his heart. Each step he takes is a proclamation of his skepticism as well as his curiosity. The path, like a ravenous beast, seems to devour him, pulling him deeper into its belly. The forest watches him, its silent sentinels standing guard, their hollow eyes following his every move. The legend of the Shadowed Grove has always been a chilling tale. A haunted grove, they say, where the trees whisper in forgotten tongues and spectral figures roam, trapped in an eternal dance of death and sorrow. A place where the living are not welcome and the dead do not rest. Though Walker is a skeptic, even he cannot deny the icy tendrils of dread wrapping around his heart, squeezing it with an unspoken promise of horrors yet to come. He can feel the forest watching him, the spectral eyes hidden in the shadows observing his every move. Unaware of the horrors awaiting, our protagonist steps into the spectral embrace of the Shadowed Grove. Inside the grove, the world seems to shift, the air thick with a foreboding silence. Our protagonist finds themselves ensnared by the spectral allure of the grove. A symphony of ghostly whispers dances on the edge of perception, a chorus of voices lost to time. They're an echo of the past, a whisper in the wind that sends a shiver down your spine. Each rustle in the undergrowth, each snap of a twig seems to carry with it 1,000 voices, whispering their secrets into the vast, empty silence. The protagonist can't help but feel the phantom eyes watching from the shadows, 1,000 unseen spectators to their solitary journey. Uncertain shapes flit in the corners of their vision, shadowy figures that seem to shimmer and dissolve when looked at directly. A sense of unease washes over them, a feeling of being observed, of being intruded upon. Yet, there's something that compels them to delve deeper, to discover the secrets the grove holds. The whispers grow in intensity, a crescendo of ethereal voices that seem to seep into the very marrow of their bones. They're no longer just whispers, but a cacophony of silent screams that echo through the grove. Yet, amidst this dissonance, there's an odd sense of tranquility, a strange, almost hypnotic lullaby that seems to beckon them further into the depths of the grove. The protagonist feels a chill creep up their spine, a sense of terror that gnaws at the edges of their consciousness. Yet, they're unable to shake off the strange compulsion that pulls them deeper into the grove. The shadows seem to close in, the world outside the grove becoming a distant memory. They're drawn into the heart of the grove, into the realm of the spectral whispers and the shadowy figures. The whispers grow louder, the shadows gather, and our protagonist is drawn further into the heart of the grove. As they venture deeper, they can't shake off the feeling that they're not alone, that they're being watched. The whispers and the shadows are their only companions in this spectral world, a haunting reminder of the forgotten past. In the heart of the grove, the protagonist stumbles upon an old, decrepit house, a sinister secret hidden within the grove. The house, a decaying relic of bygone times, stands like a haunted monument amidst the hushed whispers of the grove. Once a beacon of domestic tranquility, now it groans under the weight of its own dark history, a stark contrast to the surrounding tranquility. As our protagonist steps over the threshold, the creaking floorboards echo with the mournful tales of those who once called this place home. The exploration begins, each room revealing fragments of the past. Faded photographs, dusty diaries, and long-forgotten trinkets are strewn about, each item a silent testament to the lives that once filled these rooms. The protagonist's heart pounds with the thrill of discovery, each artifact shining a light into the grove's murky past. As they delve deeper into the house, they begin to uncover a chilling narrative. This was no ordinary home, but a stage for a series of tragic events. A once happy family torn apart by an insidious force, an unnatural presence that seemed to seep from the very soil of the grove itself. The laughter and joy that once echoed through these halls replaced with cries of despair. With each room explored, the protagonist feels an unsettling sensation. The air grows colder, the silence more oppressive. An eerie feeling of being watched begins to creep in. A spectral audience observing their every move. The protagonist can't shake off the feeling that the house, the grove, is alive, observing their intrusion with a malevolent patience. The exploration of the house becomes a journey into the heart of darkness, a descent into the twisted underbelly of the grove's history. The protagonist feels the weight of the house's tragic past pressing down on them, the spectral energy of the grove pulsing with a palpable dread. As the protagonist uncovers the truth, the house seems to come alive, the air filling with a chilling dread. As they stand amidst the remnants of the past, the sinister secrets of the grove lay bare, a haunting echo of a time best forgotten. Suddenly, the whispers turn into screams, the shadows into apparitions. The once silent grove erupts into a cacophony of spectral voices, each one carrying with it a tale of dread and despair. Our protagonist, caught in the eye of this supernatural storm, feels a chill creep up their spine, the cold touch of fear gripping their heart. The spirits of the grove, once mere whispers in the wind, now stand before them, their forms as ethereal as moonlight. Each one appears to be locked in a moment of their past lives, their faces etched with the pain of their untimely end. The air grows thick with the weight of their sorrow, and the protagonist can taste the metallic tang of fear on their tongue. Desperate to escape this horrific spectacle, the protagonist turns on their heel and bolts, their footsteps echoing in the still night. But no matter how fast they run or which direction they take, they find themselves back where they started, surrounded by the same spectral figures, their wails of sorrow growing louder with each passing second. The grove, once a haven of tranquility, is now a labyrinth of despair, its paths shifting and changing like the patterns of a kaleidoscope. The trees seem to close in around them, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal hands. The ground beneath their feet feels unsteady, as if the very earth is trying to swallow them whole. The protagonist's breath comes in ragged gasps, their heart pounding in their chest like a war drum. The screams of the spirits grow louder, their sorrow so palpable, it's as if they can reach out and touch it. In the midst of their terror, the protagonist trips and falls, their vision blurring as they hit the ground. They reach out, their hand brushing against something cold and metallic. As they pick it up, their fingers tracing the outline of a familiar object. A horrifying realization dawns upon them. In the heart of the grove, our protagonist stands, the horrifying truth echoing in their mind. The chilling whispers and eerie encounters were not mere specters of imagination, but a terrifying reality. The grove, shrouded in ominous shadows, held a secret far more sinister than any ghost story. It was not a simple trap for the unwary, but a purgatory for the lost. Our protagonist, once a curious traveler, now found themselves woven into the haunting tapestry of the grove's tale. The spectral whispers that once sent shivers down their spine were now their own, echoing through the grove's timeless expanse. They were not just trapped, they were bound to the grove, their spirit condemned to join the legion of lost souls, forever wandering the twisted paths of this cursed land. Like countless others before them, they were now a part of the grove's haunting tale, their footprints forever etched into its shadowed soil. And so another soul is lost in the shadowed grove, waiting for the next curious traveler to tread the forgotten road.